News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
3 Roaring Lion fire suspects appear in Justice Court. Good morning, everyone. Montana Morning for Wednesday, November 2nd, 2016. Sky mostly clear right now. We have 34 degrees, a little chilly outside this morning. Our newscast sponsored by Ponderosa Dental, just off Reserve on 3rd. When you think of a great smile, think of Ponderosa Dental, proud corporate partner of Grizzly Athletics. The 3 18-year-old men accused of being responsible for the Roaring Lion fire appeared in Ravalli County Justice Court yesterday on charges of negligent arson. Stephen Banks, Tyler Johnson, and Cody Kinez appeared with members of their families and were released on their own recognizance. Ravalli County Attorney Bill Fulbright has more.
We had issued summons for all 3 of them. We did not issue arrest warrants or ask them to be held on bail, so they were all released on their own recognizance with conditions of release in place, set to appear in the district court either November 16th or November 17th.
Fulbright outlined the charges filed against the 3 defendants.
They certainly meant to build and start the campfire they started, but there is nothing to suggest that there's any purposefully starting the forest on fire, so to speak. This is something that fits under criminal law, what we call criminal negligence.
The fire destroyed 16 homes, dozens of outbuildings, and cost over $11 million to fight. One man died of a heart attack while preparing to leave his home to escape the fire. Fulbright said the matters of liability for the damage caused by the fire, if any, would have to come in civil court after the criminal matter has been settled. Montana's new campaign disclosure law, called the Disclose Act, has survived its first test, with a federal judge on Monday rejecting arguments that it unconstitutionally interferes with the free speech of groups that want to influence elections without revealing where they get their money or how they spend it. U.S. District Judge Dana Christensen, in ruling for the state Monday, cited the U.S. Supreme Court's Citizens United decision in 2010 that allowed unlimited corporate spending in elections. A Billings-based organization called Montanans for Community Development, which had previously sued the state over its campaign laws, amended its lawsuit last year to challenge that Disclose Act. Christensen knocked down each of the group's arguments one by one. Besides ruling that the law serves as an important government interest, the judge also rejected arguments that the law was overly burdensome to political committees and unconstitutionally vague in what a committee expenditure or contribution is. Christensen also rejected the group's arguments that the law is too broad and allows for arbitrary and discriminatory enforcement. And with that, Governor Bullock is praising that ruling. Bullock running for re-election against Republican challenger Greg Gianforte. He spoke about the ruling yesterday during a campaign rally in Missoula. Bullock said the 2015 Disclose Act still allows dark money organizations to send political mailers, but they must register and make disclosures when they do. Gianforte is campaigning in northeastern Montana. His spokesman, Aaron Flint, said Gianforte believes the Disclose Act is a work in progress, and the next legislature will look for weaknesses that would have to be addressed. A disagreement over a parking spot at a Missoula apartment complex ended with a knife attack on Halloween night. Police Public Information Officer Travis Welsh explains.
Officers responded to the report of disturbance in the 1500 block of South 12th Street, where occupants of an apartment complex were arguing over their parking situation. Another male had interjected himself into that argument, and though their statements differ at this point, the result was the other man receiving a slashed knife wound to his neck.
The man's neck was actively bleeding when police arrived, and a search warrant helped them find the knife.
One of the females that was involved in the original argument has currently been arrested for the offense of assault with a weapon. The officers articulated that it was bleeding pretty good when the man answered the door and they made contact with him. However, they did not say that it appeared to be life-threatening, and he was conscious and breathing and talking with them at the time. A knife has been recovered. It is a fixed-blade knife with about a 4-inch blade.
Missoula police arrested 47-year-old Gloria Lewis, who identified the knife as hers. She was in the Missoula County Jail on $50,000 bond. The open enrollment period for those seeking health insurance on healthcare.gov, commonly called Obamacare, began yesterday. Press Secretary for the Montana State Auditor's Office, Sanjay Telwani, explains.
This is enrollment for individual and small group plans, so this only affects a small minority of people in the country and in Montana. There's about 8% of Montanans, still a significant number, who get their health insurance through those individual and small group marketplaces.
Right. News of rising health insurance prices worries many of those covered by the Affordable Care Act's health insurance marketplace. Although most receive subsidies, there are still thousands of Montanans that must pay those rising prices.
It's at least a couple of thousand of folks. I'm not sure the exact number. I think last we checked it was in the 3,000 range of folks who are in the individual marketplace and will not qualify for those tax credits. Those are the people in the worst situation. The most common group of that is folks who are actually making too much money to get the tax credit.
While shopping and comparing health insurance options, it's important for all Montanans, especially true for those without subsidies, as prices on some plans have jumped by 50%. All this week, Missoula County High School students are taking part in College Application Week. Communications Director Hatton Littman said the statewide program helps students prepare for the next step in their education.
It's for the whole student body, 9th through 12th grade, but certainly there's extra emphasis and help for seniors as they are preparing their college entrance applications as well as their FAFSA, the federal application for financial aid.
Littman said there are events all week long at each Missoula County High School with a finale at Big Sky on Friday.
I know that one of the biggest events that's happening at Big Sky on Friday is they're hosting the International Slam Dunk Champion Kenny Dobbs in a morning assembly for the entire school on Friday morning. But schools have events going on every single day.
Find links to MCPS and FAFSA in the story on our website at newstalkkgvo.com. Finally, maybe it was a grizzly bear family reunion. Montana wildlife officials spotted 13 grizzly bears together on a private ranch in the foothills of the Rocky Mountain front. Fish, Wildlife, and Parks Grizzly Bear Management Specialist Mike Maydell told the Great Falls Tribune it seemed like a gathering of females and young who were related or familiar with each other. Maydell was tracking radio-collared grizzly bears along the front during the third week of October when he spotted and photographed the group. There was no indication that any food in the area had drawn the crowd as the bears prepare to hibernate. News Talk time now, 6:12.
News Talk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Patchy areas of fog today will give way to partly to mostly sunny skies with their high temperatures in the mid-50s. Tonight, fog once again with their overnight lows right around the 30-degree mark. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for KECI 13.